Hello Collective, this is Tan from Artemis Oracle doing your Leo season reading. I'm going to be using tarot first, and then I'm going to go through each individual sign just to see what message you need to know for the Leo season. Okay, so we're going to start off with the cards that came out during the pre-shuffle, which were the Fool, Queen of Wands, Strength, which is fitting, the Chariot, which is fitting since we are exiting Cancer season, and the Magician, since we are entering a new moon phase on July 24th, which is this Thursday. So it's going to be the new moon in Leo. So I feel like what these cards are saying is that as we're exiting Cancer season, there's certain lessons that you have to take into Leo season that are going to help you, especially when you're intending to set intentions and considering what you want to manifest. And since Leo season is about confidence, it's about creativity, courage, passion, self-expression, you need to consider in what ways you can allow yourself to shine, let your personality, your authenticity be seen by others, but also take time for self-care, self-love. But with that said, the message I got from those cards is that, there's a new beginning, and you need to be stepping into your confidence, being courageous as we're exiting Cancer season, and continue to reflect on what has transpired throughout this year, as well as what has transpired during Cancer season, and seeing what you want to take with you into the new season, which is Leo, and what you want to leave behind. So we're going to start off with Aries. I'm going to put those cards back in the deck, and I'm going to shuffle them, and then we're going to see what messages Aries needs to know for the highest and greatest. I hope you're all doing well. I'm filming this on the first day of Leo season, which is July 22nd. And as I mentioned earlier, Thursday, July 24th is when we're having the new moon in Leo. Let me see. What does Aries need to know at this time, Spirit? 2:30 is the timestamp for Aries. What's one card? We're going to use one card and clarify with 3 others. So what's the main energy for Aries for Leo season? We have a card of Queen of Wands, which is fitting because Aries is a fire sign. You know that already. You're a cardinal sign. So basically you need to be stepping into your confidence, trusting that you have all the tools of the trade, that you are attractive, you are beautiful, you are creative, you're powerful, you're magnetic. And you're also need to not let your ego get in the way. Don't just any ego or pride, don't allow that to get in your way. Don't allow that to create any blockages, because we do have the bulls in the background, so bulls can be stubborn. So don't let your ego or pride act as a blockage for you. So let's clarify the Queen of Wands. Let me get some cards for the Queen of Wands too. Oh, we have 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so some of you may need to consider in what ways you can connect with family and friends and, have fun. Maybe if you are having any issues with friends where stubbornness or ego has gotten in the way, maybe you need to consider in what ways you can find a resolution and come to some kind of accord, common accord. Maybe some of you with this, you need to exit a stage of a respite with the 4 of Swords coming in with the Page of Wands. And this may also be a time for you to allow your passions to be reignited with the Page of Wands coming in. Maybe some of you have lost your spark in some way, and you may need to, maybe you had some things blocking you, some restrictions, maybe some toxic tendencies that have been interfering with you. Maybe you were overindulging and you kind of, are tired and burnt out in a way and no longer want to celebrate, but maybe now is the time for you to somehow reignite, get out of this rest and respite phase, and in some way like reignite a passion, even if it's in a small way, you know. Okay, so now we're gonna go into Taurus. 509 for Taurus. 509 for Taurus. What does Taurus need to know for Leo season for the highest and greatest good spirit? What does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to know? Oh, you got two cards. You got Death and Five of Pentacles. Some of you may be having a lack mindset, and that's something that needs to end, especially if you're wanting to have a really good Leo season. You know, this type of mindset, maybe you've been icing yourself out and now you're ready to come out of that. Maybe you've been resting. Maybe you have been reflecting on how you've invested your time and your energy, and now you're looking at what ways you can end that so that you can have a restart. Can we get more information about that for Taurus? It's interesting because the Five of Pentacles is your card. So maybe some of you just have been dealing with lack mindset. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and Ace of Wands. You know, maybe you've been so focused on the results and maybe you're not seeing any change, and that's been causing you some sort of stress, mental stress, overwhelm. Possibly you've been overthinking. But I feel like with the Ace of Wands coming out, it's indicating that with the Five of Pentacles and the Death, it's like you're ending that line of thinking that you don't have enough, that you aren't enough, and you're now getting some spark. Your spark is coming back, and it's what's going to allow you to break free from this Eight of Swords mentality, you know, of overthinking, over being stressed, or feeling like you're restricted, or like things aren't going your way, or you know, you've been left out in the cold. And maybe this little spark coming from the Ace of Wands is what's going to take you out of this freeze out session that you maybe, and it's going to allow you to have a restart in some way. Look at the Ace of Swords right there. So that might be true to some of you. Some of you may resonate with that. I didn't mention in the beginning that you could also look at your other placements. So you don't, it's for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Okay, now we're gonna go into Gemini. Gemini. 741 for Gemini. Ooh. Okay, Gemini, you got Knight of Cups with the 10 of Cups. Wow. So some of you may be considering in what ways you can bring more happiness and harmony into your life. But then we had another card that flipped out with 7 of Pentacles. So maybe you've been need to consider in what ways you can invest, what strategies you can employ that will lead to the results. 7 of Pentacles, the results of you having a happy home, happy life, happy family. We do have the 8 of Cups. Maybe you're walking away from something. You may be walking away from something, or have walked away from something during Cancer season, or even before then, and now you're entering this phase where you're more concerned with in what ways, what strategies you can employ to bring more happiness into your life, bring more balance, peace, joy. It could be within your own life, or it could be within your family life, with the 10 of Cups showing up. Oh, no. Okay, so we're gonna end there with Gemini. Let me see. When I split the deck, I saw the Hermit. Yeah. So maybe, oh, that fell. So Hermit with the Queen of Pentacles for Gemini. So maybe you've been taking time on your own and working on projects that have been fulfilling to you, or that have been a source of stability or security, or have allowed you to be creative. You know, maybe that has been therapeutic in some way. And with that, that's where you're now coming out of this Hermit phase and then going into, you know, a place where you can find balance within your family life or your personal life, you know, or just your general, wherever you are. Your family, friends, it could be within a love relationship. Okay, now we're going into Cancer. What does Cancer need to know, Spirit? I've got a lot of cards coming out. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups coming out. And then we have the Five of Swords, the Six of Wands in reverse, and Page of Pentacles. I feel like you now are, and during Leo season, or even before then, you may have walked away from something that has caused you some mental conflict. Maybe it was some sort of loss that you experienced, and now it's with Leo season, that's like reigniting, or maybe reigniting your confidence in yourself, and even your desire to want to invest in something again. Let's see what that could possibly be, because you experienced some sort of heartbreak with the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, and you're healing, and now you're healing from the heartbreak with the Star card, and now you're thinking about in what ways you can be emotionally fulfilled, where you can have emotional fulfillment. So I feel like with anything that has caused you stress, where you felt like you lost out, Leo season is going to help you get out of that, and it's what's going to inspire you to want to find something or do something that it's going to allow you to come out of this heartbreak you're still healing from, or you have experienced, and have a brand new beginning, because the Page of Pentacles is holding the Ace of Pentacles. So that's like a new beginning for you, a new beginning where you can feel emotionally secure, where you can feel stable, and where you can possibly see new growth in something, and whatever. It could be a new relationship, it could be a new venture that you're considering at this time. So yeah, that's what may be happening for you during Leo season, Cancer. Okay, now we're gonna go into Leo. What does Leo need to know? 11:55 for Leo. What message does Leo need to know at this time? What message does Leo need to know at this time, Spirit, Angels, guides? Ooh, a card just fell. Let me see what it is. Oh, it's the Hangman. So you're going to be looking at things from a different perspective. You're going to be seeing things from a different perspective. What that is, let's find out. That's Major Arcana. So tell me, oh God, what the Queen of Pentacles came out. What else? For the Hangman, for Leo. Okay, woo. Okay. All right, some of you are feeling abundant. You may be feeling very secure. Say if you've been working on some ventures, some projects, and it's something that's going to be new to you, or that it's something that you're birthing, you're creating, it's something that you're cooking up, and whatever it is, it's gonna be happening very quickly with the Eight of Wands showing up. So with that, it's like with what changes, whatever you're thinking about, what you're being enlightened to during Leo season, it's something that may be happening very quickly, and it's going to lead you to a place where you feel abundant. You're going to be in that Empress energy. You're going to be creative. You're going to feel abundant, safe, secure, loving, nurturing. You could possibly even find out that you're having a baby, and that news is it's going to be life-changing. As soon as you find out, things are going to be happening very quickly. Maybe if you are in that mind frame where you're like, you are ready to get pregnant, and the only reason why I'm mentioning it is because of the Empress card. If you're in that mind frame where you're considering getting pregnant, and you feel like you're at that place where you are financially stable, that you have everything you would ever need to feel comfortable enough to bring a life into this world, that might be happening very quickly for you. And that may not apply to everybody. This is only applying to anybody who can get pregnant or who can get someone pregnant. So if that's the case, that's, you're going to be having a change of perspective about what happens, especially if you are finding out that you are pregnant and it's something that you didn't even think could happen, or it just happens unexpectedly, or maybe you do know, but then now you're finally surrendering and accepting that you're going to be a parent, and that you're looking at what ways you can bring more financial stability to yourself so that you can have a home that your child can grow in, that is safe, nurturing, that is loving, that will foster their development, also their confidence in themselves as well, because but it could also be you birthing a new project, you know, something that you really care about, something that you've already invested a lot of time in, and maybe you are very well versed and experienced in, and that you may be seeing some changes happening very quickly during Leo season. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, Virgo. 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 What does Virgo need to know? What does Virgo need to know? Oh, I saw the Magician card for Virgo, and that's your card. That's so nice. Okay, what does Virgo need to know? What does Virgo need to know about Leo season? Oh, okay. You have the Queen of Wands. This is someone who is confident, self-assured, creative, passionate, and loving. Three of Wands with the Seven of Pentacles showing up. So I feel like some of you are going to be stepping into something that may be new to you. It could be a new role during Leo season. It's something that's going to have you thinking about, you know, the future, like what your next steps are, and you're going to be seeing results with it. For some reason, the camera's really standing out to me. So maybe some of you are considering modeling or photography. Maybe you will be traveling. I feel like whatever it is, it's something that you're really passionate about, and something that you feel confident doing, you know. It's like, I feel like some of you may be stepping into a leadership role. It's something that you've probably envisioned for yourself, and it's finally coming into fruition during Leo season. You know, you've been putting in the work, you've been investing, and now you're finally seeing the results of it. It may be something that you were manifesting, Virgo, since we did see the Magician card, which is your card, as well as Gemini's. Okay, you have the Four of Cups. So yeah, I feel like you're waiting for the perfect offer that's gonna allow you to step into a leadership role. You've been putting out your resumes, you've been, you know, interviewing people, because when I see this, it's like, I can imagine like someone waiting to meet somebody for an interview, you know. Depending on the type of projects you do, because it could be a casual business meeting type situation for you, but I feel like you're waiting for the right offer that's going to allow you to step into a role that you feel like you're ready to step into. You feel like you are capable of fulfilling, you know, because you put in the time and effort already, and you're ready to see the results. And if I feel like, you know what I want to say, that you don't want to settle for anything with the Four of Cups. You're waiting for the right offer. You're not going to settle for anything less than you know you deserve with the Queen of Wands, you know. Okay, these other cards fell out. All right, so that's for you, Virgo. Oh, a card flipped out. Some of you may be receiving an offer from King of Swords energy. I want to say Aquarius, but Aquarius is the King of Wands. But it could be air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Or it could be you're let me see. I have to like really settle into that though. Ooh. Well, as I was about to shuffle, the Two of Cups came out. Okay, so air and fire are supposed to be counterparts, but you're an earth sign, so you may have fire in your chart, or you may have air in your chart. But some of you may be entering into some sort of partnership with somebody. And the Two of Cups doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic situation, but it can be. But you will know your situation more than I will. But some of you may be partnering up with a fire sign or an air sign. You know, somebody who will understand your vision, who sees your potential, somebody who believes in you, someone who will also trust you. They will trust you. Because, I don't know, for some reason I'm looking at this ego, and I feel like this person may have observed you, may have done some research, background checks on you or something, and they may be coming in with an offer, and it may be the offer that you want, an offer that you will accept. So yeah, that's that for you, Virgo. So now I'm gonna go into Libra. Libra 2020. 2020 for Libra. 2020 for Libra. 2020 for Libra. Okay. Ooh, Knight of Swords. So some of you may be wanting to take some sort of action. Something that, it's like you had an idea and now you're ready to execute it. But you're coming, it may be something that's new to you since you are coming in as the Knight of Swords, Libra, which is an air sign energy. Tell me more about the Knight of Swords for Libra. Okay, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you probably, it's something that you have put a lot of time, attention to detail towards. And this is not the first time I've seen the Queen of Pentacles in this reading. I'm going through this and I don't remember what other signs, so please feel free to check out your other placements. Okay, then we have Eight of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you're quickly leaving a situation that you may have spent a lot of time and paid a lot of time and attention towards. You know, maybe you're leaving a situation where you put in a lot of effort, but it's no longer fulfilling you. Yeah, we have the Death card coming in. I think you're wanting to go into something brand new. I think that whatever you're exiting, it no longer inspires you in some way. And you no longer feel the same way emotionally towards it. And that's why you're wanting to walk away from it. And it could be about anything. It could be about a relationship. It could be about a job. It could be a friend group. I don't really see so much friends, but it's definitely something that's tied to emotions, because you know the Eight of Cups is about leaving something that's no longer emotionally fulfilling. So it could definitely be a career thing. It could be a friendship. It doesn't have to be a friend. And it could be a romantic thing, but it doesn't have to be a group thing. Yeah, I feel like you're thinking about what ways you can bring more happiness in your life, or bring more happiness to the situation. But if you're exiting it, it's more so how can you be more happy with yourself. You know, I feel like that's maybe some of you have faced some sort of truth where now you're ready to take action, but it's your truth, and you feel like you may be leaving a situation that no longer aligns with you. It could be a situation where there was no fairness. You felt like you weren't given equal treatment or even equal reciprocity, you know, in some way. You're showing up because Libra and Taurus are the Empress. Yeah, you want something that's going to be emotionally fulfilling. You want to go somewhere where there's growth, and it could definitely be a job situation with the Three of Pentacles showing up, which has to do with collaboration. Maybe you are working in a team dynamic and it's no longer working for you, and you're wanting to exit that. Maybe you're wanting to go solo. You know, with Knight of Swords, he's by himself and he's riding that motorcycle. So maybe you're ready to embark on something where you're on your own, and that you may have more control, that you can make more decisions, and decisions that align with you, align with your purpose, your mission, your emotions, what you care about. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you're already like planning this out, and this is something that you may be executing during Leo season for yourself with the Knight of Pentacles. And you saw he has a map. It's like he's creating a pathway. He's creating, maybe it's a business plan. Maybe you're creating like a list of everything that you need to do, everything that you need to execute in order for something to come to fruition, you know. And it could be something that you really care about, like I mentioned, that you're exiting something and you maybe wanted to go solo, and you want to be able to leave your mark on it. It's something that is coming from you, especially when we saw the Empress card coming in. It's something that you're birthing, that you're creating, you know, that is coming from your because you see the solar plexus, this to me is like the solar plexus, even though that's a sun, but it's like, it's something that you are now feeling very confident about doing. You feel confident enough to kind of step out on your own and create something on your own. So I feel like that's what's coming towards you, what you may be experiencing during Leo season. Libra, I hope that was helpful. Now we're gonna go into Scorpio, 25-22 for Scorpio. And the Death card is right at the bottom of the deck. How fitting. Oh, with the Ten of Swords. Ooh, something might be ending. Something might be ending with the Ten of Swords. So well, let's see what comes out. Okay. What does Scorpio need to know, Spirit? Scorpio. For Leo season. Ooh, Ten of Wands. Some of you may be experiencing a lot of responsibilities or burdens right now. Or maybe you're taking a lot of the experience you've had and are heading towards something new. Maybe wanting to start something new, because once you end the Ten of Wands, you're going to be starting back up with the Ace of Wands. So maybe all these things, all these rods or wands that he's passing by, he's taking that one that really fulfills them and ignites passion within you, and you're like, okay, I choose this one. I choose this one. Ten of Wands, King of Cups, that's Scorpio energy. So something that is not only, like for me, it says, it looks like he's drinking, but I feel like it's also singing music. It's something that's singing to your heart, you know, that's going to be emotionally fulfilling. And I see the Queen of Wands coming out with the Ace of Swords. I feel like you're realizing a truth, you're gaining some understanding. And it's funny that the Ten of Wands, you see above the figure's head that there are clouds. So maybe there was some confusion about something, and now you're finally, you know, making a choice, and now you know the choice that you're making is your truth. It aligns with you. It's something that you've thought about and has sparked not only creativity or passion within you, but it's also something that you know is your truth. You know, it sings to your heart. It's honesty. It could possibly be something with a relationship, because we do have two figures. We have the King of Cups with the Queen of Wands. King of Cups is Scorpio. Queen of Wands, I believe, it's a fire sign energy. I forget what the queens are. You know, maybe in the past you've experienced some sort of deception, because I don't know, whenever I see the Six of Swords, this guy looks like he got away with something. But this person is like, yeah, you walked away from someone who may have been deceptive to you in the past, and now you're finding peace. But you may be, but the experience that you've had with that person, it's taught you so much, but it's also letting you know where you should be lying, where your passion lies, or what brings you passion, or where you should be directing your passion towards. You know, and to you, it's about being emotionally fulfilled, being emotionally stable, and, you know, being honest with yourself. You know, no longer being confused and wanting to go towards something that you feel confident about. Confident, something that you know will be not only emotionally fulfilling, but will fulfill you in some other ways. And it could even be fulfill you in some other ways. Yeah, and you may be dealing with, because the Queen of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? But could be, right, a fire sign, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be just a fire sign, a person who embodies a fire sign, someone who's generous, who is vivacious, sexy, charming, magnetic, passionate, creative, right? And it could be an emperor, which is Aries, right? So maybe some of you have left behind an emperor, or you may be going towards an emperor. Oof, I said towards, and look at that, the chariot. You're charging ahead. Yeah, because in the past you may have felt left out in the cold, that you were abandoned, that you probably felt like your self-esteem took, you know, just took a hit with whatever you experienced in the past. And you're ready to move forward in confidence and wanting to go somewhere where there's love, where there's warmth, where there's peace, where there's happiness. And I'm saying that because here is cold, but then when you're thinking about fire energy, it's warm, it's hot, it's sensual, you know. So maybe you weren't satisfied where you were in the past because it just wasn't it, you know. If it left you lacking, you felt like you were lacking something, you know? So, yeah. Some of you may have been dealing with a Taurus energy because I see the bulls in the background. So you could have left a Taurus because they're behind her, following her, you know? But this is you probably taking ownership, a leadership over your love life, your creative life, your everything, you know? Maybe you're no longer allowing other people to keep you stuck and feel like you're not worth it. You're realizing this Leo season how much you are worth it. You are so worthy, you are so beautiful, you're so sexy, you're so creative, you're so loving, you're so generous, you know? And it just be that, you know, you're loving who you are, who you authentically are, the genuine part of you, the part of you that you probably felt like you lost in that previous situation. Okay, so that's what may be coming up for Scorpios. Let's see what's coming out for the Sagittarius. Okay, these cards are mixed, so if any of them come out in reverse, I'm gonna read them as upright because my cards got twisted, and I don't really like that. Okay, for Sagittarius for 3113. Let's see, 3113. Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know right now, Spirit? Leo season, what can they expect from Leo season? What can Sagittarius expect from Leo season? The first card we have is Eight of Swords. So some of you may experience something that's really that may be putting you in your head. But I feel like since we know about this ahead of time, this is like just something you need to look out for during Leo season. So what may be causing Sagittarius to be trapped in their mind, feel restricted in some way? We have the Fool. I think some of you may be needing to make a decision about a new beginning. That's what popped in my head. You're gonna have to look at things from a different perspective, and you're gonna have to make a final decision. You know, it's ultimately whatever this is that's keeping you up in your head, that may have to do with a new beginning, with the Fool card energy, or it could be just you feeling like you are being foolish, but maybe you're not. It's just you have to in a way when you're taking a leap of faith when you don't know, you know, but you're gaining some, whatever risk that you may be considering taking is going to require you to not think about what can possibly go wrong. I feel like it's about you. If anything goes wrong, just like don't stress it. Don't get caught up in the stress, you know? Just know that if anything does, that you have everything you need in order to rectify it, to address it. That you basically have the power, you know? You get to make the decisions that align with you. This is about you no longer allowing yourself to be disempowered. And this is you finding your power, finding your strength, and, you know, not being afraid to do new things or to go on an adventure in some way, you know? No longer holding yourself back, because probably that's what you've been doing. Maybe you're going to have a sudden realization that you have been holding yourself back with your thoughts, that you created your own prison, and now it's time for you to break free from that prison, you know? And ultimately it's going to be your decision, you know? That's your decision to make. With the Queen of Wands, it's interesting because I you know what, I don't really know if Queen of Wands is Sagittarius energy. For the life of me, I know the fixed signs are the kings, but I don't know what Sagittarius is. Sagittarius may be the Queen of Wands, but whatever it is, this is about you being confident that you can and will make the right decision that's for you, that works for you. But it's a matter of you kind of changing the way you look at certain situations that may be new to you, unfamiliar to you, and not allowing your thoughts and your fears to take hold. You know, you're the only person that can free yourself from that prison, you know? You're your own judge and executioner when it comes to this, you know? So it's being confident in knowing that you will make the right decision for yourself. a decision that is going to allow you to be free and enjoy life and not feel like you are restricted or trapped in any way. But it's about you releasing all those stresses, the burdens, those beliefs that no longer align to you. You know, it's freeing yourself from those restrictions that have kept you trapped. You know, and those restrictions, they may be all in your head, you know, but it's about you finding the power to realize that and set yourself free. Okay, Sagittarius, I hope that's helpful. So now we're going into Capricorn. 3527 for Capricorn. 3527 for Capricorn. I have to repeat the time for myself. I don't have a pen with me to write it down, but I do have a list of all the signs. Okay, Capricorn, what do you need to know? Capricorn, what do you need to know? Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know for Leo season? Okay, it's about you finding some balance. It's about balancing your time, your energy, your resources. But why do they, what is this Two of Pentacles about? What is this Two of Pentacles about for Capricorns? Okay, Judgment card. Got Seven of Cups. Having to make a decision, weighing the options. Okay, you got two cards. Knight of Pentacles with the King of Wands. Wow. This definitely has to do with money, I would say. It could have to do with money. Okay, Capricorn. I feel like some of you are going to have to weigh the options about, weigh out the best option that's going to allow you to rise to some level of power. But right now you're at this King of, not, you may be or are in this, you may be or you may be in the near future within Leo season, having to strategize, plan out, make a plan, you know, like, so that you know how to get to this pentacle that you're wanting, and that's going to lead you into some level of leadership. You know, I feel like with the King of Wands right there, you see he has the heart there and has a lion, so it's Leo energy. So you may have Leo in your chart, but I feel like this is about you being confident and working towards goals that are going to allow you to reach a level, like ascend, whether it's in your career. I think it is career, honestly. I think that you're considering, but I feel like it's also emotions, because we do have the Seven of Cups. So it could possibly be about, okay, because Judgment. Okay, so some of you may be thinking about a relationship, you know. You may be considering whether or not you want to continue playing the field, or if you're ready to become a husband or become a wife, if you're ready to commit to something. Because of the Judgment card coming in. I feel like you may be wanting to close out a cycle where you've been playing the field, or maybe you're weighing the options about a career. You know, maybe you're considering in what ways you can bring more happiness to yourself in your career, or possibly taking out things that aren't making you happy, that are kind of hindering you from reaching that pinnacle that the Knight of Pentacles is trying to reach with that map. So I feel like you're going to be having to weigh the options, but I feel like whatever it is, you're going to have to follow your heart. You're going to know what's going to sing to your heart, what's going to align to your passion, your mission, what you see for yourself in the future, especially if you're wanting to have a level up, whether it's a promotion or a raise or something that's just going to bring you to a different level, you know, because we do have a Knight of Pentacles here. Maybe that's where you are, but you're like, oh no, I want to be a king, you know, but you're wanting to do something or go towards something that aligns with your soul mission, your heart, what you really care about, what inspires you will allow you to be creative. So I think that's something that you're going to be having to think about during Leo season. Yeah, I think it's about strategy, because I did see the I shuffled it back in, but I saw the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups, he plays chess. You know, he's strategizing. He's always, you know, the way the card is here is like, what can I do to make myself happy? And it kind of goes with the Seven of Cups. You know, you have all these different cups, but it's like, which one is going to bring me happiness? Which one is going to allow me to become the king that I envision myself being? You know, what is going to align to my heart, you know? So I feel like that's something that you're going to be having to consider. You're going to be having to make a decision about something. It may be two things that you have to think about. It could be two job offers, and you're gonna have to use your heart, your intuition, and your heart, your intuition / intuition, to allow you to make that decision. Okay. Aquarius, I didn't get to say Aquarius, but the King of Wands came out for Aquarius. But, oh, I saw the star card in the bottom for Aquarius. Okay, that's good. You're showing up in your own reading, Aquarius. I'm going to say the timestamp is 41:05 for Aquarius. Aquarius. Let me see how much time I have left in my, oh, why would I hurry up? I only have 6 minutes left in my break. Okay, so Aquarius. Okay, let me ground myself. I don't want to rush through this. Okay, what does Aquarius need to know, Spirit? One card for Aquarius. Okay, you got the Three of Pentacles. So some of you may be working on a project, maybe working within a team, a group dynamic, or it could be a friendship group. The Three of Pentacles. But since it is about, it could be a job, it could be a project, working within a group project at work. What is this Three of Pentacles, Spirit? What is Three of Pentacles? Ooh. One more? Okay, so we got the Three of Swords with the Tower. So I feel like you're gonna find out something that's gonna be very disappointing. It's something that's gonna, it might sting. That's what I want to say. It might sting a little. But it's gonna, when you find this out, it's gonna happen unexpectedly. It's gonna surprise you. But you have the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles coming out. So I feel like there's gonna be a shocking change. Okay, it doesn't have to be a bad, Towers don't have to be a bad thing, you know? Whatever you're gonna find out, you may be finding out, Aquarius, it's gonna be disappointing, you know? But it's gonna come out of the blue, but it's gonna force you to really reflect on what truly matters for you, you know? And it's gonna really call for you to think about in what ways you're going to be sharing your emotions, or where you care about things, because whatever you've been giving to, you may be finding out that something that's just gonna, it could be anything. It could be like you get left out in the cold, they may kick you off the project, you may decide to exit the project because, you know, it's too much stress, it's too much overwhelm and whatever, or you may be pulled out of a project, and that may happen suddenly. But I feel like whatever this move is, the Nine of Cups may not even be you, it could be somebody else, and they may be making this choice for you because maybe they feel like you can do better not working with a group. That's what I want to say. I feel like, because you see this, there's one person here, right, with the Three of Swords, and then there's two people being knocked off the tower. So I feel like whatever's gonna happen, somebody's gonna get hurt. It may not even be you. Somebody's gonna be butthurt about it, you know? But it's a move that someone's gonna make that's going to allow you to see results. And it might be for your own benefit. You know, there may be some people that aren't going to like it. They're going to feel sad about it. Maybe it's you that feels sad about this, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be for your betterment, for your benefits, you know. And this decision may not even be your own. It may be coming up from somebody else. It may be somebody else that's making this decision. But I feel like whoever's making this decision is because they probably see your worth and see that you can bring results on your own. You know, so there may be a promotion. You may be called to be a group leader or team leader in some way. Maybe you're getting a promotion where you are managing or overseeing other people. It could be that, you know. It's some type of partnership with the Lovers. Maybe some of you may be finding out that you were in a third party situation, and that's what causes you to feel some level of heartache, and then you're deciding to move towards something where, like, it's shocking, it's disappointing, it's sad, it's heartbreaking, but you may be, they think it, and this could have been something that happened in the past, and right now you're focusing on your happiness and in what ways you could bring fulfillment towards yourself, where you can invest in emotionally, that where you can see results, you know, somewhere where you can meet someone who is equally yoked to you, who is going to love you and support you, who's going to be honest and not be deceptive in some way, because I'm thinking deception in some way, that you may be, if it's a love situation, you may be finding out something that is heartbreaking and disappointing, or has already happened, and you're moving past that with the Knight of Cups. But whatever actions you're taking, it's with love, you know. But it could be self-love, you taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, seeing that personal growth, and then with you doing that, it's what's going to lead you into a lover's dynamic, a lover's partnership. Some of you may be meeting a King of Wands, because I split the deck and the King of Wands was there. Okay, or who you dealt with in the past was a King of Wands. So it seems like if you've already passed this heartbreak stage and now you're focusing on yourself and taking care of yourself, you may be meeting someone new. Or the advice is that this may happen, but it's time for you to take care of yourself and nurture yourself, and focus on in what ways you can be fulfilled outside of something that wasn't fulfilling in the past. You know, something that left you heartbroken, disappointed, and sad. So, okay, so that's for you. I hope that reading was helpful, Aquarius. So now we're gonna go into Pisces. Pisces, 4750 for Pisces. 4750 for Pisces. Ooh, star clock, whatever. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know for the Leo season? Ooh. Wow, I love this. Okay. Since time is of the essence right now, I'm gonna get 3 cards. Wow. One more. No, that flipped weird. Yeah, that flipped weird. The card just flipped in. I didn't like that. Just one more. One more card for Pisces. Got 2 cards. Okay. All right, so for your first 2 cards are the 2 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. So some of you may be reuniting with someone from your past that you had you were connected with in some way, or it could possibly be someone you knew from your childhood, or it could possibly be a soulmate that you're meeting. This is someone that if that's the case, because it's looking like love, this is someone that we got the Temperance card with the 5 of Swords, the King of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. So some of you may be having your boundaries up because you've experienced some sort of disappointment in the past with a past energy. with the Five of Swords and the King of Swords, you know. So maybe some of you have made an executive decision to walk away from the situation and keep your guard up, but in some way I feel like some of you have been solo for a while, because you see this person's like, she was backpacking and she's by herself, she has her guard up. So maybe some of you have spent a significant of time on your own, maybe 7 months single, or maybe even 7 years, you know. 7 weeks, I don't think that's really enough time, you know. But I feel like some of you are going to be reuniting with someone who may be your partner, someone that is matched to you. They align with you in that way. You see, there's the sun, and then we see the darkness. You have these two figures here who are looking at each other. They're both at the same level. Some of you may be meeting a Sagittarius, or someone that may have fire in their chart, or some of you may be meeting a King of Swords, you know. But from what I see, it's like some of you are going to be meeting somebody, and someone that you feel like you and them kind of balance each other out. You bring each other happiness. You may be bringing each other happiness, and this person is what's going to kind of help you get out of your own head, you know, move past the conflict, see things clearly, probably even being a little bit more logical, but also they're gonna fulfill you. They're also gonna ignite some sort of emotions within you. You're gonna feel safe with this person. I feel like there's gonna be a level of safety and trust that you may have with this person, and their presence is what's gonna allow you to bring your guards down. So let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. You got the Empress card. Yeah, this is someone who may be very loving, caring, and may treat you like a queen or a king. They're going to treat you in a way that you probably have never been treated before. And like I said, this is someone that you're going to feel safe and secure with. You're going to feel that there's a lot of love coming between you, and that there's you may feel balanced, that you and this person, whoever they are, you may balance each other out in some way. So I'm gonna leave the reading there. I hope this reading was helpful for you all, and if it was, please like, share, and subscribe to Artemis Oracle. My name is Tan. I'm your reader, and I'm wishing you a wonderful Leo season ahead. Bye.